Well, look at here. Look what we found here. I've had a lot of you guys send me this article right here, this study that was conducted that shows something a little bit contrary to what the media norm is. Things that you wouldn't see in your normal average day news media. This right here, lots of you guys have sent this to me. You posted it on my Twitter. You have sent it into my email. You have posted links in the comments below on the other video I did. I did a video the other day talking about how dangerous eggs are and how dangerous chickens are. That's the thing that they're pushing right now, that eggs are dangerous, chickens are dangerous, and oh, by the way, we just don't have a lot of eggs right now. And why? I did another video on that. The FDA is knocking on chicken houses doors of the chicken houses out there and saying, hey, your chickens are sick. They look fine to me. And I know. I have some of you guys who emailed says, yes, my chickens or my friend's chickens really did get bird flu. Guys, if this bird flu is so dangerous, why do we still have birds flying around? There are birds that fly around. There are birds that can survive bird flu. But no, what's happening here is, for the most part, knock on door, your chickens are sick, take this big fat check, or otherwise, it would be horrible if something happened to your chicken flock. That would just be horrible if something happened. What could happen?
100,000 chickens may have died in that fire. Multiple crews responded to help fight the flames.
And there is no word on what caused that fire, but the scene has been handed over to the state. The state fire marshal and investigators will take it from here and give us any update as they can.
Right.
And I gave a list on my Twitter. It was widely shared of all over the last year. And this was just a partial list. A partial list in the last year of all the chicken houses that have been shut down either by fire or just by bird flu culling. The birds are not dying from bird flu. They're being murdered. They're being culled. And the list here proves that. And if you don't get culled, you get culled. One way or the other, you're out the door. It's like a real life movie of Chicken Run. There are people out there on internet land in the homesteading community who are calling things the way they need to be called. And the reality is we're living in a day and age where our country is collapsing. We're watching it. We're watching Rome burn. And Nero is playing his fiddle. And I've been watching a few months back. I even mentioned it on a video. A few months back, I was really starting to scratch my head at some of the things that Doug was saying. You know, Doug from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. He was saying on his Twitter, I was like, wow, he's really laying down the truth bombs. That's going to make some people uncomfortable. This is awkward. You don't say these things in the homestead community and still be part of the larger homestead community. Because why? So many channels in the homestead community, so many of the personalities in the homestead community want it all to be about chicken tractors and dairy cows and your canning recipes and just little things, your garden and your tomatoes and your onions. And we just want to keep it about homesteading. We don't want to talk about the things that are affecting real homesteaders. We don't want to affect the things that are... Guys, why do you think we became homesteaders? The great majority of us were like, we got to get out of here. I want to get my kids away from that nasty food. I want to get my kids away from that nasty school system. I want to get my kids away. I want to get myself away from all that insanity that's in the cities and in the suburban areas. But most of these homesteaders out there won't talk about this nonsense. They won't talk about this garbage that's attacking and destroying our country. And when you do, well... you just don't get invited to places anymore. I did a video on that not that long ago. I did a video on why I don't get invited to homestead conferences. It's because I talk about evil, nasty things. I talk about the reality of the world that we're living in. And I don't get invited to those places because everyone just wants to talk about chicken tractors. I do all that stuff. I love the butchering. I love all the aspects of canning and gardening. I love all that stuff. I do all that stuff. But I also know that, hey, There's a severe issue in our country. And when you talk about stuff that makes people uncomfortable, they don't invite you to places anymore. We're about to find out who the real homesteaders are. These effeminate men out there at these homesteading conferences who all they want to do is talk about their chicken tractors and their nice little milk cows. We're about to find out who the real homesteaders are. Because, see, it's going to come to you too. And homesteading is more than just about your chicken tractor or your garden or your tomato plants or whatever, or your canning recipes. It's about safeguarding your families. And some of us are taking this a little bit more serious than others. We are. This is not your daddy's shotgun, cowboy. They don't want to talk about hunting. They don't want to talk about coyotes that are constantly trying to get into your sheep herd and how to deal with that stuff. They want to talk about the softer side of homesteading. And so you get disinvited. And Doug is finding that out. When you start talking about the real things that real people want to talk about, the things that are seriously affecting our country, how our kids are under attack, how our economy is under attack, how our rights are under attack. See, this is all part of homesteading. This is, in my opinion, the sexy side of homesteading. The other stuff just gets monotonous. I've done all that before. And I still do it. I'm getting ready to can a whole bunch of beans. I just bucketed a whole bunch of rice. I made bread the other day with 20-year-old wheat that a friend of mine gave me from packaged back in Y2K, before Y2K. 23-year-old wheat, and I made bread with it. And it tasted good, and my kids preferred that over the other stuff that I buy from the flour that you buy from the store. See, I've done all that. I do all that. I'm moving some content to Rumble. Rumble has specifically reached out to me to start putting some videos over there. I want to talk about this whole thing with the tanks coming into that country over there. I want to talk more about the economy and how this is your future. Stuff that these other homesteading channels, these effeminate channels won't touch with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. What a crazy, crazy country we're living in right now. Those, I don't want to say that. I got to be careful what I talk about on this channel. Guys, that article you guys sent me, I can't do a video about it here. I got to be careful about doing a video on that article here because of censorship. Because on here, you only talk about homesteading stuff within the bounds of what they say is homesteading. You get out of that, you get off the rails, and they don't let you come to conferences anymore. And Lehman's, if you're a customer of Lehman's, they just dropped Doug and Stacy because he's sticking up for things that are worthy of being stuck up for. He's calling things out. I have often recommended Lehman's on my channel and some of their products. I use some of their products. Not anymore. Lehman's, they can go to hell. I'm not using Lehman's anymore. Because they don't want to talk about the things that really matter. They don't want to stand up because they're scared. Guys, do you understand that we're the majority here? These purple-haired keyboard commandos over at YouTube are not in the majority. Anyway, all that to say is, yeah. People are choosing sides, and it's getting rough. But, and we have to say what we have to say. I don't want to lose my audience. I don't want to lose my platform here. But I am going to take my message and other things, that we're doing to other places too. Because I feel we should talk about them. And thank goodness Rumble is starting to grow. And it's starting to become a direct competitor to YouTube. It's viable now. It's viable, despite what some people say. I know the majority is here at YouTube. But Rumble is growing. And in fact, again, they've reached out to me and we're going to start promoting some videos over there. They're going to start promoting some of my videos over there. And a lot of you guys have left comments. Zach, please post it, Rumble. Please post it, Rumble. It's coming. It's coming. Anyway, there's lots of things to talk about that I can't talk about here. I can talk about over there. These effeminate homesteaders. We're about to find out who the real homesteaders are. All right, guys. Hey, listen, check out our merchandise, teespring.com. You wear this shirt. I love prepping out in public, and people will come out and they will be like, woo, hey, tell me how you're prepping. Here's how I'm prepping. You'll get so many conversations started by wearing this shirt out in public. Spring and summer is coming up. Might want to pick up this shirt. Also, we got some great seed deals coming to you from Clearwater Valley farms.com, and great seed deals, stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. Really, you're not. And so be on the lookout for that. We're coming out with that shortly. He just sent me the information in the mail, or the packets in the mail, and so we'll be talking about that soon. And other than that, yeah. See you next time in the homestead. Bye. Alexander the Great. Did you know when he died, his body was placed in a coffin made of solid gold? Decades later, Ptolemy X and Cleopatra III stole the coffin and gold artifacts just so they could pay their war debts. Germany, at the time of World War II, stole all of the gold they could get their hands on, and much of it still today has not yet been accounted for. You see, all throughout history, when times get tough, people, either good or bad, seek real wealth. They turn to gold and silver. The central banks and Wall Street cheerleaders would have you believe that gold and silver are just shiny rocks with no real value. But did you know that central banks around the world have for the last year been buying record amounts of gold and silver for stockpiling? Stockpiling for what? What do they know that they're not telling us? Genesis Gold Group is a proud supporter of an American homestead. They help people get out of locked-in 401ks and IRAs into something that's real, physical gold and silver. If you're going to be locked into something, it might be a good idea to talk to Genesis Gold Group about being locked into something physically vaulted instead of just a piece of paper that at the end of the day is just that, a piece of paper. It's a clear surety that our economy is headed for turbulent waters. The nation is currently over $31 trillion in debt, and Congress keeps spending money and the Fed keeps printing it. That does not bode well for anyone keeping and saving money in savings accounts or paper-denominated assets. Call Genesis Gold Group today, this instant, or visit them online at genesisgoldgroup.com. They can put together a strategy that's right for you. And be sure to say that you heard about them from an American homestead.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.